Morning, Keith. Morning, Joshua. Yeah, so just waiting to get a bit of a kind of critical mass here before we get started. I do have the risk disclosure up. Also encourage you to hit the like button and as well as hit the subscribe button so you can get notified of this content on a daily basis. Hey, Frizu. Hey, Marcelo. We're gonna get started here in a couple of minutes, guys. I do have the risk disclosure up so you can peruse that. Before we get started, I'm trying to sort out something right now with the indicator that I don't understand. Oh, well, maybe. Okay. All right, guys. So again, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, encourage you again to subscribe. Encourage me to get up this every morning to provide this content to you guys as well. So, all right, let's. So I do have the risk disclosure up again, just kind of at a high level paraphrase. Basically, I'm not here in any sort of investment advisory capacity. I'm not here to offer, solicit, to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, instrument, or fund. We all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk and that we should, not use other than risk capital to participate with in the markets. Okay. We don't want to jeopardize, otherwise we don't want to jeopardize our financial security and our ability, for our living expenses, mortgages and things of that nature. So, nothing again here is to be considered as a solicitation to buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, now that we got this risk disclosure out of the way, and you've had a chance here to review it on your own, let's go ahead and start with I guess a little bit, well, let's start with the news and then we'll go into a little deeper review of the markets here. So stop share here, I'm going to start sharing and we're going to start with the news. Okay. And take a look at the news here. All right. So we're going to filter out everything but US. So we're just going to select the US here. And we're going to select 2 and 3 star events. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and apply. Okay, we'll double check, make sure everybody can see my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Yes, no, maybe. All right, thank you. All right, so let's continue. Let's go back to the top. All right, so we have a bit of news today. All right, so we have S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing Report coming out here at 9:45 Eastern. We have ISM PMI coming out at 10 a.m. Right, and we have Atlanta Fed, speaking here at 1 o'clock. Right, so 10 o'clock is already something that you should already have jotted down. Okay. in your on your checklist there, okay? Because again, it's a time where we have European option expiration, which could have exposure to some options, all right, or so could impact options. I mean futures, both gold and crude oil. Expiration of European options has the potential of impacting futures, okay, and that happens at 10 a.m. every day. All right, so that's something that should already be, I guess, penciled in into your checklist of news events. Okay. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and share, and let's begin to share the screens of the charts. Okay, now the start of every week, I do a little extra review. I add the monthly and the weekly here just to kind of, you know, understand at a high level. Double check, make sure that people can see my screen, I believe. All right. So I'm going to expand this out here a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to start with the monthly, just kind of get a feel here. Good morning, Miss Circle. Just to get a feel for, what's the general direction that the market is trying to head on a higher time frame. And as you can see here, I'll move this off to the side here for a minute. Okay. As you can see here, we continue to make or try to make newer highs in the gold market. Okay, we've broken some structure here. To the left-hand side, it's I would say this kind of been met with some sellers, to be honest, here on the last couple of months, but we continue to grind higher. All right, on the monthly chart. Weekly chart, okay, a little bit more, I would say, more overlap, more ranging, more neutral. Okay, again, a little closer view of what those selling wicks were about, right? So we have here overlapping price, neutral price action. So on the weekly chart, it looks a bit neutral, right? It looks a bit rangy, all right? Daily chart. Daily chart, okay, we've, come into an area that I think I've mentioned in the past, I was kind of thinking that maybe it would eventually continue lower, all right? But we continue to hang around here at this 23, 25, 23, let's call it 20 level. I'm calling this kind of a demand zone, right? Price has not been able to get below it, all right? So I'm willing to identify that as a demand zone until it's broken, right? Until we get a price to close below it, all right? So yeah, until we get price to close below it and we see price above it, then this is an area of demand. Okay. Not the strongest, okay, I would say, of buyers. I mean, the buyers, honestly, the demand area should be a lot stronger, in my humble opinion, right? Fact that price is coming into this area should cause a bit more of a reaction than it has up to date. But nonetheless, it's still demand until it gets broken. Okay. So for our chart. For our chart, much of the same, just more candles. Now, what I will say is that we do have at least a couple candles here that are proving to be, I guess, somewhat bullish. All right. So we have a piercing candle here against this demand zone. Then we have another candle here, kind of follow-up candle to follow this candle. But we've been down this path before, right? We had this same scenario happen here and kind of stalled before it fell again. Okay. So again, I think I would say that the key for gold, if they really are truly serious about this moving the price higher, then we need to get above this bit of structure here on the left. Okay. We need to get above 2370, 2370.3 as high as 2382. All right. We need to basically break this structure to the upside to really turn this market from neutral, right? Neutral market to bullish. Okay. All right. 30-minute chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart. We'll start to draw some of the reference levels that we care about and we're going to be watching throughout the session today. So one of the first things I'm going to be drawing here is the fixed range volume profile. So I'm going to locate the 530 bar here on, or the 530, sorry, 830 bar on, not Thursday, but Friday. Let's locate that. That is over here. All right, I'm going to drag that across to the 430 time frame. All right, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and open up initial balance here as well. Okay, so here we are. We are inside value, right? Inside value from Friday. Okay, so basically, it's telling us that neither the bulls nor the bears are very much in control of this market. Now, we did have a little bit of a peak, right, during the, I don't know, Asia London session. It looks like mostly Asia. Okay, that we did Asia session did take a peak below value, okay, only to be met by buyers, and we've been long ever since during London. Okay, now the question is this going to continue? Well, if we start breaking some structure to the upside, I do see some areas where price could stall. Here we have, let me actually remove this because this is probably an older, but this EMA here, right, this EMA level here at what is that? 2364. That's the 233-day EMA could prove to be resistant. We also have value area high here. All right, that could also prove to be resistant. Still plenty of room, plenty of how we say area here for price to continue to the upside, but we need to be conscious of these areas here to potentially stall price. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, let's go ahead and pull up our ADR, and lo and behold, we have ADR levels also indicating the same area. All right. We have value area high. We have ADR high. We have EMA 233, all in the relatively similar vicinity here. Okay. So, and then I guess we have the initial balance from Friday edge. Okay. Not that I normally look at that per se, but we have other areas of confluence here that, give us some indication. Now, one thing that we do have in our favor, if you are long or interested on the long side, we do have price above settlement and above VWAP. Okay. And we have a VWAP that is starting to slope to the upside. So, and has already received a reaction away from it. So if you are a bit more bullish on the gold market, you have two pieces of evidence here to indicate that maybe we will continue to see some upside throughout the session. All right. So let's start calling out some of these levels. All right. So we have ADR high at what was that? 2366.4. Okay, we have ADR low here down below at let's say, what is that? 2330. Looks like just under it, 2329.6. 2329.6. And then we have settlement at 2364. Is it? No, that's 2360, no, 45.8. 2345.8. 2345.8. All right. Settlement. All right. Settlement. Oops. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and turn off ADR. I'm going to go ahead and turn on ASR. All right, this ASR levels might need to get adjusted once the equities markets open, tied to the New York session here. So we have on the low end, we have 2365.2. Okay, ASR, average session range, 23, what was it, 59.2, I believe, 59.2. Make sure of that. Oh, 65.2. Apologies. 65.2. Okay, and then we on the top side we have 2387. Okay, so these are average session levels from the prior session, right? Prior New York session, and we'll need to get adjusted here once the equity markets open up here. All right. So, what are some hypos for gold? Well, I think we've already spoken on a couple of them. One hypo is the fact as long as we remain above VWAP and above settlement cost or settlement price, we have a reasonable opportunity to make our full kind of traversal through value all the way to the top of value. That looks like a reasonable expectation given what I'm seeing right now. Okay, we have price already. We have some price structure open broken here to on the left hand side. We have a test already of this level here has yet to be broken, but based on this price action since London, we have a reasonable chance of heading all the way through value, okay, from Friday. All right, so that's one hypo. The other hypo would be more on the bearish side is what if price reaches, let's go ahead and turn on ADR here. If price reaches ADR or EMA here, that could provide us a zone or an area for a possible bearish reversal in the market. Okay, that would be a bearish scenario. Okay, otherwise, I would say that focusing in a bit on the IB edges, all right, and see what IB provides. If we get an extension higher off of IB, that further cements our sentiment to the upside, right? Or potentially this area here will cause price to stall and we head lower, right? Continuing in that kind of rangy behavior that we've been seeing in the higher time frame, right? So we still have a good 45 minutes before we can basically this initial balance range gets established. So we'll have to sit on our hands. But those are just a couple of views that I have here. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this down here so we do see the levels that we're looking at so far. All right. I think that is all I want to say about gold. I'm going to go ahead and take a peek here and see if there's anybody has any questions. I don't see them. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into the gold market, not gold, but crude oil. All right. We're going to move into crude and we're going to do kind of the same kind of view that we did, a bit higher than normal since it's the start of the week. We'll start with the monthly chart and get a feel for the direction the market wants to go. All right. And right now on the monthly chart, looks like we are in the midst of some sort of consolidation going on. You could easily draw a little, kind of triangle pattern on this flag pattern, pennant, however you want to term it. Okay. We're in consolidation. Now, at some point, it's going to break out of this consolidation. We just don't know in what direction, right? It can go either direction. Okay. It can go to the upside, right? And follow the same kind of trend that it's had, since 2021, or it could break down to the downside. The distance by which it would potentially go is the mouth of this consolidation pattern. All right. So monthly chart really is not telling us a whole lot other than that it is in consolidation. All right. We are equally making lower highs and lower lows as we are making higher highs and higher lows. All right. Symmetrical. All right. Weekly. All right. So we are in this triangle pattern that I mentioned. Okay. Looks like we are bouncing away, or actually continue to test this level here that I've drawn. Okay. On the weekly chart. this area of potential demand. We've reacted once, twice, a third time, and kind of chipping away potentially at some of these buyers that are causing price to reverse. All right. So still very much in the demand zone, but looking more and more bearish to me on the weekly chart. Okay. If I'm just looking at this swing here. All right. Daily chart. Okay. Daily chart again, back at this weekly level that we had mentioned, that we've seen reversals here once, twice, third time, now again, a fourth time. Well, at some point, we don't know exactly when that's going to happen. Price will eventually break this level. Okay. Will eventually break this level to the downside. We just don't know when, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the fifth time it's tested this level here around 76, 75, 77. All right. Again, market does not look overly bullish to me. Actually, it looks a bit more bearish. All right. The target, well, maybe the bottom of this triangle pattern that we've shown and demonstrated on the daily. All right. Let's see, 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart giving us kind of the same feel. Not really any strong buyers, stepping into the market here, right? We had some buyers here in the past, but they don't seem to be around. They don't seem to be around at these levels. Okay. So we'll have, with the expectation then is this is going to continue lower. 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, we have a developing bearish engulfing candle, right? Through basically a series of bearish price action inside this channel. Okay. So as long as we remain in this channel, okay, it will continue to grind to the downside. Yes, they ran out of gas, right? The buyers ran out of gas. Okay. So good. Remove this since I have the other one. All right. So let's go ahead and open up the volume profile here. See what the volume profile has to say on this. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Okay. So we're going to go back to Friday. We're going to look for the 9 a.m. candle, which is right here. Okay. And drag that across to the 4:30 candle, which is right here. And so we're kind of peaking below value from Friday, which indicates that the bears are starting to maybe potentially get a foothold, to further downside price action. Okay, we have a relatively strong bearish engulfing candle that's being developed here. We're about looks like about 7 minutes away from the open of this market. All right, so. All right, so let's see what are some of these other levels that we should be thinking about. Well, we have this ADR range, so I'll start calling out some of these levels. All right, so we'll go ADR high here at what is this? 77.87, 77.87. We have ADR low here at, was that 76.10, 76.10. Settlement price at, I got this right on top of. We got settlement price at 76.99. 76.99. You can probably call it. Yeah, so I would just say settlement at 76.99. Okay, and then I'm gonna call out ASR, but understand that these ASR levels might need to get adjusted here once we get the New York session to officially open here. So we have ASR low at 77.86. This is probably more of a ASR session from Friday. And then 77.87. 77, no, 79.15 on the top side for ASR high. Okay. All right. So what are some hypos? Well, first we need to wait to see and let the market open for us. But what are some things that we can think about? Well, we have price below settlement and looking to get below value area low. Well, this might be a reasonable area to take a short. The only problem that we have is that we are right up against a weekly demand zone, right? So not, the only thing that I guess has in our favor is this is not a new weekly low, right? This is a level that's been tested a number of times. Okay, so it's bound to have kind of weakened over time here. Okay, we have as a target for that, we have potentially ADR low. All right, that could be a target for this bearish trade. Okay, so that's one scenario. The other scenario is that we wait for price to make its move, get down to ADR low, and it may offer us a reversal off of ADR low. Okay, that's another scenario on the bullish side. If the price gets up to ADR high, or maybe up to value area high from Friday, that would also be another area that we could potentially expect price to reverse from. Okay, so those are just a few scenarios that I see. I before I kind of finalize any of these scenarios, I'd like to see initial balance and how price reacts to initial balance, and whether we get a break either to the upside or to the downside on initial balance to further cement my view and sentiment of the market and the opportunities that I'm willing to take on. Okay. All right. So that's kind of my view on crude oil. Looking a bit bearish, I would say, right now. Okay. We'll see what the session holds. Okay. All right, let's move on to the equity market, and specifically, let's start talking NQ. So let's go ahead and open this up here. Okay. We'll start with the monthly chart. Again, trying to get a feel for what is the general direction that the market wants to go. Well, similar to what we were seeing, I guess to some degree, gold, although we were seeing far more selling wicks in the gold market than we are seeing in the NASDAQ market. Okay, so price continues on its upward trek. I don't know how many of you were part of that rally on Friday, right? We had a very late rally, and that actually made new highs. All right. Any case, a monthly chart looks bullish to me. Weekly chart, same. Okay. We closed the week bearish, but we did have a late session rally to close out the week. Okay. So again, we are developing a new candle. Again, obviously this candle will not close here, but we are on the top end of the range. Okay. Following a bearish candle that had some buying wicks here. Okay. Daily chart. Daily chart looks like we had a little bit of a rejection candle here to the downside here. That was our Friday, right? We had kind of a, not quite a hammer bar, but a high wave candle with a large buying wick. Okay, now we have potentially a 3-bar reversal. We won't know. We won't know until the end of the day. But this looks like a very nice 3 outside up kind of formation that is forming on the daily chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. Okay, for our chart, we've already had our bullish engulfing candle off of. I'm gonna get rid of this here. This is my anchor VWAP. Oops, that's not what I wanted to get rid of. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna have to restore that. So in any case, we have a completion of a bullish engulfing against EMA here. All right. So this EMA of 233, we have price reacting away from it. Okay. And we continue to kind of, just grind our way higher. Now, I do see a level here, right, of 18,734, right? That could prove somewhat, maybe 740. That could prove somewhat resistant here. So we'll need to see how price reacts away from it, or reacts when it reaches it. All right. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. We're going to go ahead and draw our. We see that we're above settlement price. We're going to open up our fixed range volume profile. We're going to locate the 630 bar or 930 bar from Friday, drag that across to the 430 bar, and lo and behold, price is above value. So bulls are very much in control of the market, and now are even taking strides to maybe close above this EMA level that we had talked about, right? So we are above settlement. We are working to get above EMA, and I'm assuming that we are also, let's see if I can find VWAP. I don't have VWAP here. That's very surprising. It looks like I don't. All right. Well, let's do an anchored VWAP. Okay, and I'm going to pick this level down here and see where we're. So, okay, so we are above this anchor VWAP. I chose this level because that's a definitive pivot. Okay, down, 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 stop, move higher. Okay, so using that as a starting point for our anchor VWAP will hope to be beneficial here. So we have anchored VWAP pretty far away from current price. Okay, another indication that we have the potential of expecting continued higher prices. Let's go ahead and turn on ADR. We're up against it already. All right. Again, once we reach ADR so early in the market, and again, we're not even in the open. That could be an indication for potential sustained auction to the upside, right? Once we, I guess, reach ADR, right? So ADR here is again a level that we normally expect reversals in price, but the fact that we broke it so early, the fact that we haven't even opened the market, we could be in for a sustained auction to the upside. All right. All right, so we got our fixed range volume profile. We got ADR. I think we're ready to call out some levels here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we got ADR high, which is where price is currently, and that is, what does that look like? It's 706.50. 706.50. ADR high. We got ADR low at, what is that? 18,478.25. 18,478.25. And then we have settlement at 18,570.75. Okay. We're going to turn off ADR here for a sec and turn on ASR, although understand that the New York session has still technically not opened. So these levels will need to be adjusted. So we have ASR low here at looks like 18,516, 18,516, and we have ASR high at what is that? 18,688. 18,688 looks to me 18,688. Okay. All right. So what are some hypos? Well, we are at a level currently ADR high that could provide us a reversal. I say could. We're not getting that kind of reaction, and like I said before, once we get ADR to be broken so early in the session, could be an indication that we could be in for a bit of an abnormal day, and a potential sustained auction to the upside. All right, we are above a lot of levels here. Let me draw the one that last one to say VWAP right here. Don't need it twice. I just need it once. Let's see. Clean this out, and then I'm going to turn off the bands here. Okay. Oh, what I do? I did it twice. Okay, do this one more time. Apologize for that, guys. All right. Now, let's see if I can go into the settings and turn off the bands. Okay, I'm not interested in the upper and the lower bands. All right, and input style. I don't need a band fill. All right, so we've already gotten a reaction. You can see here we've gotten a reaction off of VWAP to the upside. All right, so as long as we stay above VWAP and above some of these areas that we've been talking about, then I would say that the sentiment or view of NASDAQ is long. All right, and we should be looking for long opportunities in the market, looking for reference levels where we can manage our risk to support a long trade. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and open up ES here. Do the same kind of analysis. We'll just peek at the monthly. Monthly is similar to what we were seeing on the NASDAQ, right? We're going to turn this off here for a second. All right. So we are headed higher, right? Candles are moving up from left to right. So we are in an uptrend. Okay. I'm just kind of closing out some of these things without doing away with my text box. Okay. So here we are. Price continues to the upside. We've broken some structure. We've retested it and it met with more buying. Okay. Weekly chart. Weekly chart, right? Similar kind of thing. We've broken some structure to the upside. We had a, kind of a little bit of a push down only to close out the day with a buying wick. And now we have a developing bullish candle, developing, I say, because this is the start of the week. Daily chart. We've got a bullish engulfing candle that took place on Friday. And again, we have a developing candle against an area here around, let's call it 5360, right? 5360, 5350. Well, we need to get above this level if we are going to continue this wave to the upside. All right. This area, this area right here is an area that I guess runs the risk of sellers stepping in. So we want to see a definitive close above, let's call it 5360. All right, to kind of continue this, higher highs, higher low kind of pattern that we're seeing on the S&P. All right, so 4-hour chart. Okay, we got a very strong candle here that wiped out a bunch of hopeful sellers up against EMA here. EMA 230 to 233-day EMA. Currently, we have a developing bullish engulfing candle above and also above VWAP. 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. We're going to go ahead and open up our, fixed range volume profile here. Here we are. We're going to locate the 930 bar from Friday, which is right there. Drag that across to the 1330 bar. And much like what we're seeing on the NASDAQ, we are well above value, indicating that bulls are very much in control. We are above every reference level that we look at when we kind of measure sentiment. We're above VWAP, we're above settlement, we're above this EMA, we're above value. Okay. So all indications are to further upside price action. Well, how far can this go? Well, we have this ADR level here on the Nasdaq. We are already there, right? So ES is, I guess, a bit lagging where the Nasdaq has been able to get to. Okay, so we have ADR high here at what is that? 53.24.25. 53.24.25. That's ADR high, average daily range high. Average daily range high. Okay. And then ADR low. ADR low is let's call this 52.74.75. 52.74.75. And then we have settlement price. Okay, kind of at let's see, settlement at 52.99.25. Okay, we're just going to take a quick peek at ASR. ASR is below, but again, it's going to get adjusted here. So 52.75 to the upside. 52.75.50 to the upside. Okay, with price is already above. And then we have 52.40 to the downside, which we're already above. Okay, so like I said, this will need to get adjusted here once the New York session officially opens here in about 18 minutes or so. Okay, all right. So what to make of this market? What are some of the hypos? Well, we could participate in a continuation move to the upside, right? We don't necessarily have to take too much risk. We have an ADR level here above us. Okay, we could potentially participate maybe in a 2-to-1 trade where we, take a trade long with a stop below, say, settlement price for a target to ADR high. Okay, that's one possibility. We could also wait for we could also wait for price to get to ADR and look for a potential reversal away from it. Okay, that's another hypo. Okay. Otherwise, we have some other levels here below, right? Since we exceeded EMA, and price is above EMA. Well, EMA could also serve this 52, what is it? 52.90, 52.88 level could provide us some support. Okay. So those are, I guess, a few of the hypos that I'm seeing right now. Price is having a little bit of trouble getting above this level, was not able to get above this level in the overnight trading. It's just kind of been ranging in this area, right? Maybe some of the buyers, some of just, kind of digesting or resting after this massive move that we had here at the close of the market. Okay. So we'll have to see what the initial balance range provides, right? And see whether we get initiative price action to leave IB high or leave IB low. And that maybe gives us kind of a view that we can kind of put a stake in and support our trades. All right. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on the ES. Again, taking a peek here and seeing if there's any questions. I'm not seeing them, other than encouraging folks to hit the like button, which I appreciate. So let's go ahead and close out the session here with a view of YM. So we're going to go ahead and open up the monthly chart. Okay, YM up until, I guess, late the close of the month here was actually a bit bearish. Okay, all right. But we did have a relatively strong rally here at the end of the session. Okay. So what to make of this market? Well, again, looking at from a left to right perspective, we continue to make higher highs and higher lows. we had price come back down to an area of prior resistance, only to respond higher. Okay, so monthly chart, I would say, is bullish. Weekly chart, again, coming into an area of demand. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these drawings. Okay, coming into an area of demand, and now we've kind of closed out the week with a buying wick. Now we do have a candle that starts the week is looking a little, I guess, a little indecisive. Okay, but it's still, the body is still bearish. All right, so daily chart. Daily chart, we have, again, we closed Friday with a strong bullish candle. All right, now we've opened today with a candle on the top end of the range. Okay, has not made much headway into this candle, but it's still bearish. Okay, 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we seem to be stuck in just below, in the middle of this ADR range, below EMA, below VWAP. Okay, we did have a kind of bearish engulfing candle on the 4-hour that closed out here at the top at the earlier this morning. All right, and now we have a bullish candle, although it hasn't really made any inroads. We have not had any new highs, so could be an indication that maybe we started to get some bears or some sellers potentially stepping into the market here. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart, again, seems to be hanging out in this range, not really making too many strong advances one way or the other. This to me on the 30-minute chart looks like more of a retracement, right? Bulls are still very much in control, right, of the swing here. And this looks like just merely a kind of a retracement right now. Let's go ahead and open up fixed range volume profile. Let's locate the 6:30 or 9:30 candle from Friday and have that go to right there. Okay, so much like all the other equity markets, price is above value from Friday. We are above not all, okay, the indicators that we'd like to see, right? Unlike ES and unlike NASDAQ, price is below VWAP and below settlement price right now in the Dow, right? We do have an ASR low here at, what's that? 38, I think I saw initially as that 38,637. So let's start calling out these levels. So we got ASR here, ASR high. I think ASR low was 38,637. Not 28, 38,637. Okay, and then we have ADR high here around this 39,000 level. Okay, so call it at 39,012. Okay, 39,012, and then we have settlement at 38,825. Okay, and then we're just going to take a peek here at ASR here. ASR is already visible, so we got 38,115 ASR low, which probably will need to get adjusted. 38,115, and then on the top side we have is that 38,391? Looks like 38,391 to the top side. Okay, not 291 but 391. Okay, all right, so again, what are some hypos? Well, this was the last bit has been ASR lows, Eagle Man. So this down here is ASR, but again, it'll most likely get adjusted here once we once the market opens here in about 10 minutes. ADR is 38,637, which is up here. Okay, ADR, average daily range. Okay, the first numbers are ADR. The second set of numbers are ASR. Okay. All right. So what are some hypos? Well, a little bit of mixed, kind of mixed messaging going on, I would say, in the Dow, right? We are below VWAP. We are below settlement price. So it's, difficult to say. Now we've been through, we reacted away from VWAP only to react back through it. So maybe the Dow is looking more rangy, I guess. I'm not sure I would, reference VWAP all that much unless I want to use it as kind of a range indicator, okay, for price. If we remain under settlement price, then I would say that there's potential for reversal lower, okay. Maybe we come back down to test EMA, come back down to test ADR low, maybe even come back to test as the value area high from Friday. Okay, that would obviously be a relatively significant move to the downside. Okay, now if we are more not bearish but bullish, then we need to start to see price getting above settlement, above VWAP. Then we have this ADR above us as kind of a target. Okay, for price. So those are kind of a few scenarios that I'm seeing in the Dow. Unless there's any other questions, I mean, I do potentially have time to maybe look at one other instrument if there is a desire for that. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap up the session here. So, any last minute calls for any other markets before I call it a session? Okay, well, I'm not seeing it. All right, guys. So don't be afraid to hit the like button on your way out. Okay. If you're not a subscriber to the channel and this kind of content resonates with you and helps you prepare for the market, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button so that you'll get notified when I do provide these sessions in the future. Otherwise, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. That's it. We'll talk soon.